Dog stories. This dog visits his owner's grave every day. Every single morning before the sun fully rises, a lonely dog quietly walks through the cemetery and lies beside the same grave. People thought he was lost until they discovered the heartbreaking reason why he kept coming back every day. The cemetery was usually silent in the early mornings. Only the sound of birds and soft wind could be heard between the rows of gravestones. But for months, the caretakers noticed something unusual. A golden brown dog appeared there every single day. Always alone, always quiet. At exactly 7 in the morning, the dog would slowly walk through the cemetery gate carrying a small worn-out blue collar around his neck. He would approach the same gravestone carefully, sit beside it, and remain there for hours, rain or shine, hot afternoons or stormy mornings. The cemetery workers started calling him Shadow, because no matter what happened, he always returned. One morning, an elderly caretaker named Mang Ramon finally walked closer to read the grave. The stone read, Daniel Reyes, a loving son, friend, and companion. Below the name was a small engraved line, my best friend forever. Mang Ramon noticed an old faded photo protected inside plastic. It showed a smiling young man hugging a puppy. The puppy looked exactly like Shadow. Weeks passed, and Shadow became known throughout the town. Visitors entering the cemetery often searched for him first. A few people even tried adopting him, but every time someone brought Shadow home, he escaped, and the next morning he would be back. One rainy afternoon, the storm became dangerously strong. Thunder echoed across the cemetery. The workers prepared to close early. Through the heavy rain, Shadow appeared at the cemetery gate completely soaked. Slowly, patiently, he walked toward the grave. The workers watched silently as the dog curled beside the gravestone, trembling from the cold but refusing to leave. Mang Ramon finally approached him with an umbrella. You really love him that much, don't you? He whispered. One evening, a woman visited the cemetery carrying fresh white flowers. The moment Shadow saw her, he stood up instantly. It turned out she was Daniel's older sister, Sophia. After Daniel passed away, Shadow refused to leave his side during the funeral. She explained how Daniel rescued Shadow as a tiny puppy. Since then, the two became inseparable. They were family. Dogs don't love the way humans love. Their love is purer, simpler, forever. Months later, Shadow became a symbol of loyalty. Someone even built a small wooden shelter beside the grave so Shadow could stay dry. Then one cold morning, Shadow didn't appear. 7 o'clock passed. Mang Ramon became worried. Finally, near the entrance gate, they found Shadow lying peacefully beneath a tree, weak, tired, barely breathing. Mang Ramon carefully carried him toward Daniel's grave. The moment Shadow saw the gravestone, his tail moved gently one last time. Shadow slowly closed his eyes and peacefully passed away beside the person he loved most. Real love stays. Real loyalty remains even after goodbye. Today, beside Daniel's grave, there is now a small stone marker that reads, Shadow, a faithful friend until the end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow dog lovers. And remember, sometimes the purest love comes from the hearts that cannot speak.